Yo guys, if you aren't subbed, go ahead and sub, man. Do videos every week, usually about Overwatch. I'll be doing other videos too. Probably do some Wildgate here. Also, follow me on Twitch if you guys haven't. I'm actually starting to stream again. I am streaming Mondays, Tuesdays, Sundays for sure, and then probably just a random day. But yeah, go ahead and sub to me, man, and follow me on Twitch. Let's get into today's video, which is about Stadium. I have been playing, well, here, first things first, I want to talk about the footage. The footage is from my stream. It's actually probably a little bit rough visually because I downloaded it from Twitch, but what I will be doing in the future is also recording while I stream, so the quality will be much better in future videos. With all that said, I just want to talk about Stadium in today's video. First off, let's talk about how fun and chaotic the mode is. I think the build flexibility is really good. You can do stuff you'd never get away with in like a regular Overwatch, obviously. I think Reaper is a good example for that. You basically like snowball with him in like, I think by round, whenever you get your second perk, so what is that, round 4, you just start snowballing. You get the perk that resets your cooldowns on kill or assist, and then you get the perk that adds sharpnel to, like, more sharpnel to your guns every time you fade. You just snowball. It's crazy. That sort of thing is super fun. With D.Va, I've been doing like a crazy, not crazy, but like Magnum, where you like fly, you like get Magnum on the ground, and then you like can like slam down, Toki slam. That builds a lot of fun too. Yeah, I think the build flexibility in Stadium is really cool, and it allows for a lot of interesting, fun, wacky builds. I think that's super sick. And I also think as the game, as Stadium has more heroes added to it, it will feel much better as far as matchups, especially on tank, because right now it's pretty rough, I think, at least on the tank department. I am a tank player and I don't really enjoy playing tank in Stadium. Number one, because, well, ball isn't in it. And then number two is that I think just because obviously I don't play a lot of the tanks that are even in right now. Like, I don't play Reinhardt, I don't play Orisa, I don't play Zarya, I don't play D.Va, I don't play Sig. So yeah, I mean, obviously that's a big reason. But that leads me to my next point, is that the matchups can be kind of skewed, I think. Even with the builds, it's like, if you're playing Reinhardt into Sig, it sometimes feels like the Reinhardt just walks all over the Sig if they aren't building right, you know? Another one is Zarya into D.Va. So this is kind of an outlier here because we're actually against Zarya in this match. Now there are like obviously the perks around it where you can like damage reduction with beam and stuff. But I think at its core, like, you're still at a slight disadvantage when you're like D.Va versus Zarya. Even with those perks, I feel like you're still at a slight disadvantage just based on the fact that like you can't block beam at all. You know what I mean? You can mitigate some of the damage, but you can't block it all. Maybe not the best example because we do end up winning this whole game. It just feels kind of bad at times. Another thing is that, especially with tanks, going after supports is very difficult. Because you don't have a lot of options unless you're D.Va, and that's pretty much it. Or like Sig, if you can like, if they're like close enough to, you can hit them with your spears. Other than that, there aren't really that many options to like dive the backline. So I'm looking forward to like more dive tanks being added. So I think they're going to be adding Winston soon. Definitely looking forward to Ball, that's for sure. And that's kind of just a small complaint. Like I said, this will all get better with more heroes added, especially in the tank rule. I think it will get a lot better. I think DPS are fine. I just don't think people want to play DPS because like they don't have that many options right now. It's like mainly hit scan and then like Junkrat and Reaper in May, you know, which aren't horrible. Like, I'm a Reaper player, I love playing Reaper, but I can see why people wouldn't want to. And I guess Genji too. I'm trying to think of like popular DPS. I guess those are the popular DPS. Anyways, I think as the game goes on, more heroes are added, the game will get a lot better. But that leads me to like my main complaint with Stadium right now, and that is the time between rounds are kind of insane. And especially the time between, you know, like when you go and you pick your hero, the timer on that is insane. Like, why are we waiting 50 seconds? like I click the hero I want, and then there's still 50 seconds left on the timer. Now, I don't know if that speeds up when everyone chooses one. I've literally never seen that timer speed up. Every time, the beginning of Stadium, you pick your hero and you're just sitting there waiting 50 seconds at the hero select screen. That takes way too long. That needs to be more than half. And also, the timer between rounds, especially the first round. I'm not sure why. I mean, I just choose my power and I choose the three like weapon items that I want, and then I'm sitting there for like over a minute. Like I've never seen that timer speed up either. Like that needs to be sped up as well. I think as time goes on, and we're kind of already getting there, I think, and people know what they're gonna build. And they know the items and stuff, it's gonna be even more apparent. I think that when either everyone is choosing and the timer just isn't going down, like there's a bug, or everyone is choosing, okay, or people are choosing, the timer is going down, but it's not going down quick enough, or there's like one person on the enemy team, I guess, that isn't choosing right away. But it happens every round. I've literally had to wait the full like minute it is per round before the game starts. That's too long. It's way too long. It needs to be sped up somehow. Another big complaint I have is kind of the matchmaking. Now I know Blizzard put out an article about this recently, basically stating that like if you get someone who is like of lower rank in your team, like basically their stadium MMR is like on par with yours, and that it doesn't really matter. But I mean, maybe I'm just stupid. I don't really understand this. And I know they actually recently changed the matchmaking too to like allow wider queues, so maybe that's what I'm experiencing. But I've had rounds where like my supports will be, I mean, I'm high plat on like every role, and my supports will be like silver, right? But I guess it's going off of stadium MMR, and right now I'm like, what is it, like the third or fourth rank or something like that? So it's going off of that rank. I don't know. It like they definitely aren't on par with like they aren't at the plat level playing at that level. They're like silver level. But I guess our MMR in stadium is the same because we're like, I don't know. I'm still like pretty low rank in stadium. It's very confusing. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But my point is that there are stomps. And it's very, very clear sometimes who the problem is, you know? Sometimes you have like a DPS on your team, like not even breaking 1,000 damage in a round. You'll get that like earlier when I was playing through the stream, we had a Juno who like barely broke 1k healing each round and didn't have that much damage either. It's just like, man, like what are they doing? Like, I don't think they should be here. You know, like they were silver, and it's like they're obviously struggling. So I think, I don't know, there's something funky going on with the matchmaker. It just feels kind of weird. And I also look at like whenever I get in a match of stadium, I always look at the like rank of everyone in that lobby, and for the most part it's always like high plat, high diamond players that I'm paired with. But when they did the like wider match queue thing to like allow for quicker queues for support players, I've started getting more like silver and like gold players in the game, which isn't a huge problem, right? But it is affecting the match quality a little bit. I don't know, it is something to think about. Especially this is something that I want to talk about too. They're going to be adding the quick play version of this game. That's going to take a lot of players away from the competitive version, I'm going to tell you. Mainly people are going to play the quick play version, and queue times are going to be ass. That's my other big thing I want to talk about, is that instead of making this like a quick play and a competitive version of Stadium is already extremely uber casual. What they should do is just allow for crossplay in the current mode right now. That way queue times would be much quicker because you'd have more people playing it from each lobby. You know what I mean? I think that's a big thing that they should be doing. Now, guys, that's kind of my thoughts on Stadium. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I think Stadium is in a amazing spot. This video isn't to talk shit or to, you know, down anything. It's just that I think just from the, you know, I think I've played maybe 40 hours, so maybe not quite a lot, but, you know, a decent amount of Stadium. I think from that amount of time, I can already kind of see some of the issues, and then I can kind of already, like, feel some of the future issues that may come with, like, adding a, you know, casual mode to this. But yeah, to basically summarize everything in this video, I think that the build creation, I think being able to like craft and like create the heroes that you want and play them how you want is super sick. I think that is amazing. I do think that sometimes the tank matchups can be a little bit skewed, even with the perks that allow you to like play into your counters. But I think that is just kind of like a byproduct of 5v5 and just how it's going to be until, you know, more heroes are added, especially on the tank role. I think that some of the Overwatch 2 tanks are very versatile, and I think once they start getting added, the matchups will be much better. My main complaint of this video, is that the time between rounds are insanely long. They need to be sped up. Once everyone chooses their hero, once everyone chooses all the perks that they want, we shouldn't be waiting in queue in the spawn for 30 more seconds. It needs to be sped up to 5 once everyone clicks that bang done button. And then lastly, my other big complaint would be that adding a quick play mode to this is going to hurt the queue times, especially the support ones, because most of the support players will probably play quick play. That's just the nature of that demographic, is that they are generally more casual. They just want to, have fun and do silly Mercy build, silly Juno build. It's gonna hurt the competitive queue times. My solution to that is just add it all together and add all the consoles together. Allow us to queue up with our friends. It shouldn't matter. It's already an uber casual mode. But yeah, guys, that's my thoughts, man. Again, if you aren't subbed, go ahead and sub for more videos like this. And then follow me on Twitch. I go live Mondays, Tuesdays, Sundays, and then I'll go live on a random day. But yeah, thanks for watching. Also, let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree? Whatever it is, let me know.